I have been married to my wife for 2 years now, together for 4. Kate, my wife, is an amazing, selfless, beautiful woman, but she has been through a lot. She was raised in an abusive household and has been SA'd twice in her adult life while she was in college. When we met, Kate was finishing up her senior year of college, and not long after we started hanging out, she went through a deep depressive period. She started self-harming, and me and my best friend convinced her to get help after a particularly scary incident, so she went to a mental health hospital for a few months to start the process on working through her past traumas. I visited her every week and called her daily to check in and remind her I was there for her. Most of my family would get upset when I talked to them about Kate. They couldn't understand why I would want to be the support person for someone with such deep issues when we had just met. I always told them the same thing: I couldn't explain it, but I just felt such a deep connection to her, and I was so impressed by how amazing she is after going through everything she did, and that regardless what it was, as I wanted to be in her life, so they should get used to it. When I say I would do anything to make this woman as happy as possible, I mean it. She's earned it. She has worked so hard to be where she is, and I'm so unbelievably proud of her. Kate is now a happy, confident, self-assured person, but she still has trauma and she still lives with it, and I help her however I can to make that weight less heavy for her. I'll admit a few times over the years I've had to cancel family plans. Nothing major, just like a dinner or bowling, because of Kate having a panic attack or just being in a more vulnerable position and needing a quiet night in. It doesn't happen often, and Kate has always reached out to my family after to profusely apologize and ask for a good time for us to reschedule. My brother got married to his now wife a week ago. Everything was going fine. It was a great wedding and the reception was going really well. Kate was having a blast dancing with my sisters until one of our cousins accidentally tripped and knocked her over. He fell on top of her and Kate had a major panic attack. The cousin tried everything he could to help, and there's no hard feelings there. Kate has apologized to him for scaring him as well, and he just joked saying it was a good excuse to learn how to use his 2 left feet. But my brother freaked out while Kate was having the panic attack, and while I was trying to soothe and calm her down, he was screaming at us to go somewhere private if she was going to cause a effing scene. Kate was crying hysterically and completely reliving one of the worst moments of her life, and he was yelling at her. I was so mad, but I had to calm Kate down, so I picked her up and carried her to a quiet room and stayed with her until she was okay. She felt so bad and kept saying over and over again that she ruins everything and apologizing. I told her that what he did was unacceptable and that it wouldn't have been a big scene if he didn't make it one. Also tell you that Kate is currently 5 months pregnant with twin girls, which may or may not have fueled some emotions during this event. She can't control her panic attacks, but he can control his outbursts, and he made it way worse for her. I was still really pissed at him, but I told Kate that I would go and talk it out with him, so that's what I attempted to do. Him and his wife were both really angry that she couldn't make it to another room before having a breakdown. I tried to take a few deep breaths and explain that she can't hold in a flashback that just happened, and that she hasn't had a serious panic attack in over a year, so it's normal for them to be more intense. I asked them to put themselves in her shoes and how upset they would be if someone was going to hurt them, and they were terrified, and instead of helping I yelled and berated them for being afraid. My brother said that that's different because that would be them in a real situation, and this was all a fragment of my wife's issues. But this was real. What she went through happened to her, and during her flashbacks they feel just as real as that event, so it is the same thing. I said as much, and that they aren't being fair to someone who has always gone above and beyond to be nice to them even on her hardest days. One of my sisters said that my brother was being a jerk and to stop being a drama queen. My brother then blew up again and got in my face and said if I hadn't married a delusional girl who got effed up and broken by some other guys, his wedding wouldn't have been ruined. I lost it. I punched him and broke his nose. He fell on the ground and started crying. I got in his face and told him that he was more effed up than she will ever be, and if I ever found out he talked about Kate that way again, I would break a lot more than his nose, and I left. My parents tried to calm me down and said it was messed up what he said, but that none of it was technically untrue. I flipped out and told them if they genuinely felt that way, that I never wanted to hear from anyone who thinks that, because she doesn't need that in her life, and I don't need people who don't respect and care about the best thing that has ever happened to me. I know hitting him was wrong, but Kate has been scared, depressed, and in pain, but she was never effed up or broken. And the insinuation that the strongest person I have ever met is nothing more than a broken dish that needed to be glued back together as if it was that simple pushed me over the edge of being rational in that moment. My sisters and the majority of my extended family are on my side. But my parents, brother, and some of my other family are really angry that I would hit him on the best day of his life. But he made it one of Kate's most embarrassing, and I won't forgive or apologize to him for his actions. Kate has sat down with me and thinks I should at least work on forgiving him. She doesn't think he was right and is still extremely upset by what was said, but she explained that she's a lot and she knows it. Her panic attacks can be scary and upsetting for others too, and that I may have chosen to face and tackle those problems with her together, but that my brother hasn't. He didn't choose to be there for her during those moments, and he shouldn't be expected to be. I know she has a valid point, but I don't think I can forgive him. And I definitely don't think I can apologize to him for the situation. I just don't think I can. Update: I have written a letter. Kate told me handwriting things out can help process. To my brother, his wife, and my parents. The gist of the letters is explaining how I felt about the situation and about Kate. I did apologize for acting out in physically violent manner, but not for the emotions that were behind the punch, just the act of actually throwing it. I told them that I love them, but I love Kate more and to be in our lives, that she needed a sincere apology and effort on their part to be understanding of her traumas and struggles, and I offered them to come to a group therapy session with us, completely paid for by us. I don't think they have to help her carry her trauma the way I can, but I do expect them to at the very least understand and be empathetic. But until they agree to actually show effort toward accepting and loving every part of her, I'm not interested in mending anything. My sisters are all pissed and not talking to them either, and they are being huge supports for Kate right now, and I love them so much for it. What my family shows us to do is now on them, and while I'm still upset regardless of the outcome, I still have the love of my life and I'm at peace with that. We will both be talking to our therapist individually and together to help best address the feelings involved in this situation for both of us.
My lying husband stole my inheritance and pretended that he did not know about it, so I reported theft and left him. When I was 5, my Nana gave me her tea set. It was given to her by her mother. My Nana had no daughters of her own and I was the only girl of her 11 grandchildren, so she gave it to me. It's a full-bone china set. I don't know if it has monetary value, but its sentimental value is immeasurable. I have had it, kept it, and used it for nearly 28 years. I wanted to pass it down to my own daughter or granddaughter one day. My husband knows all this. His sister and her family came to stay with us for a week. Whenever I have little girls over, I pull out my tea set for a tea party. I make tea sandwiches, scones, cakes, biscuits. My Nana made tea parties a big deal with me and I carried that on. So, my sister-in-law and her daughter had an afternoon tea party. It was a couple of weeks after that I had my friend and her daughters coming to visit. I planned a tea party. The morning of I baked, made sandwiches, went to pull my tea set out, and it was gone. I keep it in a cabinet in my kitchen. I wash it and put it away every time until the next time. I went a little mad looking for it. The visit came and went. I spent days tearing my house apart looking for it. Every cabinet, drawer, cupboard, and the whole house was turned inside out. My husband even helped me. He was insistent that it couldn't have grown feet and walked away on its own. That's what gets to me. He knew damn well where it was, but he pretended that I had misplaced it. He knew how upset I was and tried to comfort me with promises to buy me a new set. As though a new set could replace my Nana's. I've been looking at the value of tea sets. Let's say the teapot alone is worth over $100,000. As some are. There are some that sell for millions. If the teapot on its own is $100,000, what would a complete set in good condition be worth? For me, my entire set is priceless whether it's valued at $10 or $100,000. It's irreplaceable. A few weeks later he came home with a cheap, thin-looking set that he bought at Walmart or something. I threw it in the bin. Call me ungrateful if you want. I don't care. I was ungrateful. Something you treasure, something of great sentimental value given to you by your long-dead Nana cannot be replaced no matter how much, or little in this case, the replacement cost. Then I heard my husband on the phone. I heard him say that when we visit, to put it away and tell Melly not to mention it because I'm still upset about it. He didn't say the words tea set, but I knew that's what he was talking about. I walked in while he was still on the phone and called him a thief. He was like a deer in headlights. He quickly hung up and tried to explain. I wouldn't hear it. I told him to get it back. His sister called me and I called her a thief. I told her to return it in the same condition she took it or I would be calling the police. Then I hung up on her. My husband tried reasoning with me. He told me his niece loved it so much and that kind of thing really is for little girls. He said he was going to talk to me about leaving it to her anyway, so where's the harm that she has it now? He said I was too old to be playing around with kids' toys and I really should grow up. He said I was immature and it meant nothing. What he meant is that it means nothing to him, so I should forget it. The next day I not only went to the police to report the theft, I also called my brother who lives in the same city as my husband's sister. My brother went around and got my tea set. My husband was livid and spent a couple of days calling me a lot of derogatory names. His tune changed when he came home to find me packing my stuff. He stole from me, pretended he didn't know anything about it, insulted me, and tried to gaslight me. Now he's saying how sorry he is, and that we can work this out. I don't think we can. I look at him and see someone who steals from me, lies to me, makes me feel small, someone untrustworthy who doesn't care about me. While packing, I have noticed other things missing, small things in terms of their significance to me. For example, a bracelet my brother and sister-in-law bought me a year or so ago. The last I wore it was a couple of months ago, but I've not seen it while packing my things. 2 of my brothers will be here tomorrow to help me move. I'm taking everything that means anything to me because I don't think I'll see any of it again if I leave it all with him. We can fight it out in court about the rest. I've been told that I'm an asshole to leave him over a tea set. But it's not just a tea set. It's my Nana's history. It's my history. It's years of happy memories with her, with my mother and other female relatives, and friends. He stole all that from me when he gave it away.